Hello and welcome to Hackathon Labs. I'm Mr. Hackathon and I show you how to build digital solutions. In this video, I am going to show you how to build multi-agent systems with Chipp and Make. This is going to be specialized for education. It's going to be a virtual teaching assistant with sub-agents that can enhance student learning. What you can see now is the architecture of the system. So the user would interact with the virtual teaching assistant, and the virtual teaching assistant will consult sub-agents for specific tasks. So we have a lecture assistant agent, we have a predictive modeling agent, and we have a student engagement assistant. This is built for a predictive history course. We can take a look at this professor's channel. This professor teaches predictive history and is lots of really interesting lectures. And some of this content has been used in some of the agents. If we head over to Chipp, we'll see our virtual teaching assistant agent. It has a name, it has a description, it has a logo, but the real important part is the prompt. If we take a look at our prompt, what our prompt is doing here is providing contents of the virtual teaching assistant's goal, but also that we want to direct it to the right sub-agent. You can see here, directed students to the right sub-agents for specialized help on predictive history topics. This is the main goal of this virtual teaching assistant agent. At the bottom, we can see here, I have listed the agents and their purposes. So this particular agent has the context on where to channel the information. If we scroll down, another important part of this agent is the custom action. What we're doing is using a request to send the information from this conversation to Make and letting Make route to the most appropriate agent. It'll make a little bit more sense as I show you this custom action. We have our title and description for the custom action, but we have our URL, which sends it to Make, and we have our post method. The really interesting part is this body parameter. So we have created custom body parameters to get very specific information from the conversation. What we can see here is a request. What is the question or thing the user is asking? We're letting decide which is the right sub-agent that needs to be used. And we're providing a short summary or a little bit of context to the request. And that is being sent to Make. If we head over to Make, what we have here in Make is the first trigger module is a webhook. This is to catch any information that is sent from this virtual teaching assistant to Make. If we click on this module, this is the URL that we have, and that goes right here. So that creates the connection between Chipp and Make. We added a router, and this router is routing the request to the right agent. The way we are communicating with the sub-agents is via a HTTP request. So there's two things really going on here. We have the filter and we have the sub-agent module as a HTTP request. If we take a look at the filter, there are 3 routes. And if I click on this, you can see that if the condition sub-agent, which is a variable, is equal to lecture assistant agent, take it to the lecture assistant agent. If you remember, here we was letting Chipp decide, this sub-agent, which is the right agent to use. Chipp was deciding that. So when this request is being sent to Make, it already knows which sub-agent to use, and Make just has to route it to the right place. When it comes to this sub-agent, we're using this HTTP request. We jump back. This sub-agent has been created as a separate assistant in Chipp. So if I go to my lecture assistant agent, the user won't interact with this interface on the right. The user is interacting with this sub-agent via the main virtual teaching assistant agent. We have our prompt, which provides the context to the sub-agent's purpose. And we've added unique sources to what this sub-agent should be able to do. So this sub-agent can do deep dives into lectures, answer specific questions about specific lectures, and we want to give it very niche functionality for its particular purpose, which we have done. If we go to share, and scroll down, we can start to see our information to be able to communicate with this agent via an API. You head back over, and this is what we have created here. So we add credentials. We just go there. You can just add a name, any name. We have our URL. This is our URL right here. We use the post method. We have our authorization. You use bearer and you put your authorization right there, which you would find here. The body type is raw. The content type is application/JSON. And we've used Chipp's example request, this data bit, as a framework for ours. The only thing we've changed is the content. So I use the variable request here, and I said the content to this request is summary. This is coming from, if we keep jumping back, our lecture assistant agent, oh no, our virtual teaching assistant agent, and we scroll down. So the request is being automatically generated and sent to Make, and the summary is being automatically generated and sent to Make. So you hit save on that, and you duplicate that for your predictive modeling agent and your student engagement agent or any other sub-agents that you've created. Then what we have is a webhook, and the webhook sends information back to the virtual teaching assistant. If we see this in action, what I'm going to do is ask it to summarize some information. So what I can do here is just hit run one, and you can see that it's automatically waiting for information. You can see it's consulting the sub-agent. We can see that the information's been received, it's been routed to the right place. And now what Make is doing is communicating with the sub-agent via an API request. We can see here that we have our input, and if we go down to data, choices, we can see our output here. And this is the information that's being fed right here into the body of the webhook response. If we go back to Chipp, we can see the sub-agent has been consulted successfully. It has provided a summary of the lecture. These multi-agent systems can be used for a variety of purposes. One of the best things to do is to create sub-agents that are highly specialized for very specific tasks and use that main agent to route the right query or the right information to the right agent. That concludes this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.